and welcome to my presentation on why Sonic is failing as a franchise by me, Walter Grand Funk. So, Sonic was once an icon. Back in the Genesis days of the 90s, he had great games. But then he was a god with the ushering in of the adventure era on the Sega Dreamcast. Now, he's just a husk of who he once was, as you can see by these terrible designs. But how did this happen? Once, there was a game called Sonic Forces, as you can see here on the left. And on the right here is Sonic Generations, a much better game. What do you see as indifference within these two pictures? On the left, you can see that Sonic has been given shorter quills and a different stance, whereas on the right, Sonic has long quills and a different stance. If we go back, we can see that this actually bears more of a resemblance to this design here than it does to this design here. Why is this a problem? Sega keeps looking to the nostalgia days of the past instead of looking forward to the future. I actually happen to like this design, not this one. There's a big difference, as you can see, through this good comparison. So, the future is looking bleak, but why is that? We got our first look at the new Sonic game, Sonic Frontiers, which features the return of the Sonic Forces character model within this world. And I am not happy, because he has shorter quills and a different stance. I don't like it. And that is why Sonic is doomed. Ignore that. That's not supposed to be there. Thank you for watching this presentation. I will now be taking questions, but first I just want to say why this is a problem. This is not a good character design, and gamers everywhere from casual to die-hard Sonic fans are scoffing at this ridiculous look. Look how silly he looks with his little quills when he could have these big long quills. It's a big world of difference, guys. It's very important. And character design, at the end of the day, is important to all video games, which is why this matters. And now I will be taking questions.
For real, I'm not saying that you all sound like this, but some of you Sonic fans definitely sound like this. And just a reminder, these videos are made possible by my supporters on this platform, so if you do want to support me, be sure to hit that big, beautiful subscribe button. And be sure to check out the Patreon link in the description below. I wouldn't make a video comparing the quills on two different Sonics, were it not for the fact that Twitter actually seems to care about it, so hey, maybe there's a video to be made. Maybe I'll get big views, or maybe I'm just wasting my time. The point is, though, we've had some little looks at the Sonic character model in Sonic Frontiers, and there have been some mixed responses. Now, I'm going to say this right now, there's nothing wrong with not liking this character model or wishing they would use a different model that's already been used in the past for Sonic. And there's also nothing wrong with in-depth discussions of character designs. But I will say this, I've seen a certain element of people really throwing their toys out of the pram regarding this design, saying it's a sign that nothing is going to change, and that all of the problems that have aped the Sonic franchise, or the one Sonic game, Sonic Forces, for the past, as long as Sonic Forces has been out, I guess, Sega has learned nothing from those mistakes. And Sonic fans absolutely have a tendency to throw the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to lesser-liked Sonic games. For example, look at Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. One game out of an entire spin-off franchise, but just anything associated with the Sonic Boom brand at that point became stigmatized. It is no wonder that Sega have no idea what the fuck Sonic fans want when they treat everything as death by association. I'm going to say this right now. People would not have the same level of disdain for this Sonic model were it not for the fact that it was in Sonic Forces and is a prime example of the death by association mentality that Sonic fans have. There might be some criticisms, but we wouldn't have this hysteria of, this shows that they've learned nothing from their mistakes. And I think whatever your preference when it comes to Sonic models, I think it is important to understand why Sega made this change in the first place. A lot of people feel that it's because Sega has a huge boner for classic Sonic at the moment and they want modern Sonic to look more like classic Sonic. And yes, the current modern Sonic has pulled some elements from classic Sonic, which I'll go into later, but again, it's this Sonic fan death by association mentality of, if classic Sonic does it, modern Sonic should steer completely clear of it. I can, in some ways, understand this mentality a little bit when it comes to games like Sonic Generations and Sonic Forces. It makes sense to really lay down some differences between the modern and classic Sonic if they're both sharing a game, but if there's something classic Sonic does, and does for a reason, and does well, there's no reason why modern Sonic shouldn't adapt it. So let's rewind the clocks back in time to back when we had the Sonic Generations design. The design that a lot of Sonic fans would rather have than this post-Generations shorter quilt look. what's gonna be real though, there really isn't that much difference between these looks. I definitely wouldn't call it a design change, just a slight tweak. So modern Sonic and classic Sonic were both pretty distinguished. Yes, that's pretty good. That's a good thing to do. Let's take a look at the modern Sonic first. He's got these nice long quills, and he stands in a very basic symmetrical stance with his hands to his sides. Now let's take a quick look at the classic Sonic model from Sonic Generations. As we can see, his stance is quite different. His quills are nice and even, giving him that three-quilled silhouette that is iconic from the side, but you'll also notice he's got one foot in front of the other and one arm in front of the other, standing in this sort of ready-to-go stance, which is a far cry from the modern Sonic's very basic just standing still, arms down by the sides look. The reason they've done this though is because you will be playing as classic Sonic exclusively from a side view, so it makes sense for him to look good from the side. If he's just standing in the same stance as the modern Sonic, you're not really going to see much of Sonic from the side, mostly just his hands. So they've kind of put one foot forward as though he's ready to go, but also it means that his body faces the camera a little more. Now let's take a look at the modern Sonic from the side, and the thing is, you do see modern Sonic from the side sometimes because there are 2D elements to the modern Sonic's 3D gameplay. And it is, like I said, there's an awful lot of hand going on here, but you can't see as much of Sonic. Also, that classic three-quill silhouette from the side is completely gone, as the quills being longer and a bit more sporadic, they change the look. That three-quill silhouette is quite an iconic part of Sonic's appearance, but now if we look at classic Sonic's stance from like a front-on angle, it still looks good. Whereas the modern Sonic from the side angle gets a few things lost in translation. Now, I'm not saying that this is bad by any stretch. I'm not doing this retroactive thing of saying, well, actually, the previous Sonic model wasn't very good. I'm just saying there's room for improvement and ways that they can make Sonic look better from other angles, particularly if they will be including the side-on angle for the modern Sonic gameplay. Now, also, it does make sense because the modern Sonic model and poses and everything was pulled straight from Sonic Unleashed, a game that came out in 2008. Whereas moving into Sonic Generations, they made a brand new model for classic Sonic, so they had a chance to bring new ideas into it. So as we move into Sonic Lost World and Sonic Forces, they did update the modern Sonic model as well, pulling some of the things that worked about the classic Sonic model in Sonic Generations and applying them to the modern Sonic look. So now let's take a look at Sonic's appearance in Sonic Forces. Going from the front on angle, you don't notice that much difference. His quills are shorter, yes, but it's by no means a drastic departure. It is also worth noting that he is using the stance that classic Sonic used, where one foot is in front of the other. This does make for a he's kind of raring to go kind of a look, which is much more expressive, and I think expressiveness is something that Sonic team have needed to incorporate a little more into Sonic's models. But if we take a look at this from the side now, and there is 2D side-on gameplay in Sonic Forces, so it makes sense, you can see that like with the classic Sonic model, there's more of Sonic's body showing now. You can see a little more of him from the side-on view, but also he's got that three-quill silhouette back. Now, I get it. It would be cool if there were a way of doing this with the longer quills that the modern Sonic is a bit more synonymous with, as it makes sense for the classic Sonic and modern Sonic to be really distinguished if they're sharing a game. I get it. And I get that when you look at Sonic Forces initially, disregarding the stuff I've talked about already, just face value stuff, I mean, if you even notice the difference, you probably would see that it looks like they've made the modern Sonic look more like the classic Sonic, which seems so trivial when they are sharing a game. But when you actually look at the two Sonic models side by side, the Generations model and the Forces model, you see that there is a little bit more of that iconic Sonic silhouette in the Forces version than there is in the Generations one. For me, my problem with modern Sonic's overall look in Sonic Forces is just the animations, or lack thereof. If you leave Sonic idle for long enough, he won't even blink. But there's no guarantee that it's going to be like that once we head into Sonic Frontiers. For starters, to think that a model is going to necessarily carry its animations with it at all times is just silly. But like also, let's go back to Sonic Lost World, a game that used the same overall design for Sonic, and it has all those idle animations in there. Now, there is one more thing I wanted to point out, and that's Sonic's color. So I think a lot of people pointed out that when you take the Sonic models out of engine, the Sonic Forces model is much paler than the Sonic Generations and prior models, and it seems like it's using a blue that's more akin to the classic Sonic. However, this shade of color has been done simply to accommodate for the Hedgehog Engine 2's lighting, and in-game it's got more that authentic Sonic blue to it. I mean, just take the Sonic 06 models out of the engine and yeah, you'll see they also look pretty pale. I'm not really an expert in character design by any stretch. I've got no degrees, no official certification of it. I'm just kind of going by what I see and trying to think like what was the process behind this. And I think there is a very rational process behind the change from the Generation style of modern Sonic to the Forces style of modern Sonic. And that the return of the Forces style isn't necessarily a bad thing if he's just better animated and has more idle animations. Now I will say this, I have seen some fan-made versions of Sonic's model that do achieve making a very distinctive modern Sonic long-quilled look while maintaining Sonic's iconic 3-quill silhouette from the side that also look a lot more fluid and noodle-like, and yeah, I love that. But I'm gonna say this, Sonic's model in Sonic Frontiers is no reason to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I understand that some prefer the longer quilled look, some don't care about the 3-quill silhouette, I get it. But there is no objective version of this where this is a sign of bad things to come, or a sign that Sega are going out of their way to ruin Sonic, or that the future of Sonic is looking bleak. It's a ridiculous claim, and I mean no ill will to anyone making that claim, I get it, but it's just silly. I understand the Sonic fanbase is very much in panic mode, but like, it's gonna be fine. Sonic games come and go, some are good, some aren't so good, that's just the way it works, and it works that way with any franchise. Better to accept that now than to rile yourself up and then fuck your whole experience over. I understand there's also a large part of the fanbase that wants a substantial design change for Sonic, a substantial new art style. I get that, but I don't blame Sega for just sticking with what works. The greater gaming landscape doesn't give a fuck. It's just like a minority of Sonic fans that really give a shit about Sonic's design. So I get why Sega don't bother with that. And ultimately, like most competent game franchise don't constantly change up their character design. I mean, look at Mario. He's pretty much kept the same design over the years, and they've just found ways to upscale that design with the different generations. Again, not trying to invalidate those that want to change, just explaining why it doesn't. Okay, I hope I've been able to show a little bit of method behind the madness of the Forces design change. It's really not that big of a deal, and I get it if Sega are just sticking to it. So what do you guys think? If you enjoyed this video and you want to support more like it, be sure to hit that big, beautiful subscribe button. And of course, in the description below are links to different social media feeds, including the Patreon. If you're feeling extra generous like the following people, who are JK Strife, Marcus Ward, Sirius the Skeptic, Biotinarts, Mr. SP, David 20 Covers, Sergio, George is Lost, Legendary Ray Ray, Cheesemaster769, Adam Myers, and Fayalan Schwarzentrau. Thank you guys, you are the best of the best, but as for the rest of you, thank you so much for watching guys, and have a great day.